and action. Okay, so what do you want to talk about?
Well, we get a lot of people to ask us a lot of questions. So I want to find out, what's the most common question you get asked?
Me?
Yeah, you.
How do I lose my bum? How do I make my chest bigger? How do I do all this without having to do any work?
No, the most common question though.
That's it. It's all the same thing. Like
That's all one question.
They want to do what's the easiest way to do anything that we do? That's the easiest way.
Okay. So what's the answer?
Is that what you want to talk about?
Listen, people have got questions.
Yeah.
They come in, they see, they go, Con, look, I've got this problem. So, what's the question? Everyone wants the quick fix, but what's the most common question?
Look, the most common question is, well...
How much do I need to exercise?
People want to know how do they achieve a great body, look good all the time, fit into whatever clothes that they want, without having to change their diet, without having to exercise, without having to do anything. They just want the quickest and easiest possible way. And look, the reality is, it's all the women that actually ask that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, the guys just come in and they're already fat, and they know that they're fat. They know they've got to do work. They just don't want to, you know, hear the truth, but they accept it. The women, on the other hand, I find tend to, you know the truth, I suppose, but for some reason they choose not to accept it, nor are they prepared to do the work. And it takes them a long time to eventually figure it out. But once they figure it out, my God, they're unstoppable. Oh. Yeah, that's the truth. Whereas guys just keep on going. See, people just want to drink. They want to drink alcohol, eat what they want to eat, and think, okay, if I can negate that or offset that with a little bit of exercise, that's going to be great, you know. But so that's the most common thing. How do I get all this without doing any work?
So what would your advice be to someone that you don't really know very well? They come to see you, they go, listen, Con, you know, I've got to lose 20 kilos, but, you know, I'm finding it really difficult to stick to anything. So what's the first step? How do I start?
Well, look, when someone says that to me first, I stop them straight away and I say, how do you know you need to lose 20 kilos? And what they normally will say is that, well, I knew when I lost 20 kilos, I felt you know, really, really good, or my life was better, or I had a partner, or whatever the case is. They just know it was a time and a place when everything was good, and that was 20 kilos ago. And they think that if they just lost the 20 kilos, it'll make a difference. The reality is it doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
It's what happens. It's your mind's got to change first.
So is that what you tell them? You've got to change your mind first?
Yeah, of course. I said, you know, but I don't talk to them like that. First of all, there's the crying of the acceptance of the reality, like if you're overweight or you can't follow simple rules. Yeah,
so it's like, I suppose it's like a bit like a drug addict or an alcoholic. They've got to accept that they've got a problem first.
Yeah.
And then you move on, but you've got to accept.
Acceptance is the first
I'm fat,
step.
I'm overweight, I'm, you know, unhealthy,
Everyone knows what's wrong with them, and they hate hearing it. They see it every single day. So by you telling them the same thing is not going to help. They already know it. If you've got a little bit of skill in communication like I do, and you do as well, you can actually, you know, go in from another angle and create an environment around them that's conducive to them realizing this for the first time in their life. Like, for example, in their life, I should say. So, for example, if you're a smoker and you smoke, you know that smoking is no good for you. In Australia in particular, we've got signs of people's decaying body parts on the outside of packets of cigarettes, and it says, hey, if you smoke, you're going to die. Yeah, if you smoke, your lungs are going to fill up with tar. If you smoke, you know, you're going to get ulcers on your mouth, your teeth are going to fall out, you know, you're going to have all these terrible things. But hang on a sec, but then people will then look at that and go, hang on a sec, but I know Fred or Mary or Sam or Joe that smoke and they're fine. So they've always got an exit strategy. So do you actually tell them all the things that are wrong with it? No. People deep down in their hearts already know the difference between right and wrong.
Well, they do, but they want to know how to be motivated enough to move forward and do the things that are required, and do the things that are required that they don't really want to do. They know they've got to do that stuff, but they don't really want to do it, but they want the result. So they want to know, how do I motivate myself?
No, what it is lack of motivation is due to poor belief patterns. In other words, you do not believe. Everything you do it with a grain of salt. You step cautiously into everything. You say, I'm going to try this, and if it works, I'll do it. No, what you're saying is that I'm going to put the effort in that I think is necessary, and if I get this spectacular result, then I know it's real. Like, that's not it. What you've got to do is you need to believe that what you're doing is going to make it work for you. And the only way you're going to do that is seeing is believing. So for the first moment that I get people with me, they have to get to the point where they're prepared to surrender and give up entirely everything and say, okay, Con, I'll do whatever you tell me. And in order for me to do that, I need to get into their soul, into their heart. So I need to talk to them first. And when I talk to them first, you know, how can I have this conversation with the camera?
But how, you know, without knowing all your secrets or anything like that, how do you, if you've just met somebody, how do you get in so deep that you're able to...
I'll ask them a question like, when you honestly look at yourself, like really deep down inside, do you really like what you see? Like deep down in your heart. And people deep down will tell you all the things that they hate about themselves. They can't tell you what they love about themselves. If I say to someone, just pick up a pen and paper and write down on one side of the page all the things you absolutely hate or dislike or not like about yourself, and on the other side, write all the things that you absolutely love about yourself. People can very easily fill out the section on the things that they dislike, but not the things that they like. So there, in a way, if there's a little exercise, they can see quite clearly that there's not that much. You know, so that'd be the first question, is just asking them to actually jot down facts, the things that they actually see that are wrong.
But then, you know, there's a skill there, because if they look at all the things that are wrong with them, that can be quite depressing.
But we're not looking at what's wrong.
No, but you're saying to them, how do you feel about yourself when you look at yourself, and that will start negative things. You know, if they like the way they look, then it wouldn't necessarily be coming to you. So...
Look, the way you look is like a mirror image of what's going on in your head. And if you think that you look bad, right, and you think that you look great outside to everyone else, well, you're having yourself on. And anyone that has that, they've got an attitude issue that they've really got to accept the truth. And that's a touchy thing, and it's very hard for someone like me to actually cover that. So I've got to be prepared to take the kickback that I get from that, which is not always good, in telling someone the truth. So I choose my time and opportunity very carefully in order to get in to that point. But look, it's a matter of just looking in the mirror. The mirror doesn't lie. Looking at your clothes. And yeah, there's no point getting upset and going and eating comfort food to help you feel better. You've got to accept the truth. Just look at, and listen, you know what? The other thing I say to people is this, is it might not be your time. Look, pain is one of the greatest motivators in life. Pain, absolute and total pain. So in other words, when you are unhappy with where you are, if you dislike what you feel, if you hate things going wrong all the time, and you can't find a way to deal with it, sooner or later, the cost of dealing with that is going to be far greater than the cost of actually making the change of eating healthy, changing your attitude, having a positive outlook on life, exercising. So when the pain of what you're doing is so great, it's easy to turn your back on it and move to something that's easier. But right now, when you're dishonest, you can't truly see the truth and the true pain that is hiding behind that. And if you can't see it, and you continue to do it, and you continue to eat comfort food, that simply means that you're a liar. You can see it, but you're choosing not to do it.
So what you're saying is the first step is really to be honest. Whether it's brutally honest to yourself.
Not honest what you think honesty is. I mean absolute and total brutally honest.
Yeah, that's the first step. Yeah. And then you can move forward from there.
That's it. Yeah. Step number one is be brutally honest.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. Hope you understand that. Anyway, I think that's our little tete a la tete, as they say today, in the land of Francais. When you do a head-to-head, tete a la tete. It's French, honey.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so the first step to change is being absolutely and
brutally honest.
Totally brutally honest.
That can be very scary, but...
A brute's very simple. You pick up a club and you go, whack. You know, I want this. You can't have it? Okay, clunk, I'm going to take it. You know, you need to actually take the truth from your other self. You've always got you've got two personalities when you're in this state, and you believe one and you hate the other. But you can always switch back and forth when you want something. How do you know when you're in this state? Very simple. You talk yourself into things and you talk yourself out of things. How do I know this? Because we've done it, haven't we? We've all done it. You're doing it, I'm doing it. Only thing is we know what it costs to do it every single time, and it's just not worth it. So guys, just be honest. Regardless of where you are, you can be successful. You might hide yourself around money and say, look, but I've made money, or I've got a nice house, or I'm doing well amongst the friends that I have. You know, I'm bigger and better. But deep down, that's you're just like a little fish in a pond. You put yourself out into the ocean and you see what you really like. So you really got to just be absolutely totally honest, strip everything away and have a good, honest, hard look at yourself. And believe me, although you might not like what you're hearing now, it is going to make the change that you need.
Yeah, you'll be able to move forward. That's the only way to really move forward.
And the rest of all the other steps are a lot to digest, so it's really important you try and understand this one step first. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, we're happy to answer any questions.
Please direct any animosity at yourself and in a mirror, right? like don't say it to me, because I'm just going to, pass it by through the other ear. You really need to be honest with yourself. Right, and then we'll go to the next steps. If you have any questions, just write them down below, and we'll do it.
We truly just want to help everyone. That's our whole aim here. It's not to lecture people; it's to help people so they can better themselves. Okay,
yeah.
So
the truth, although it's painful, it will set you free. It does. Right. The truth shall set you free.
Yes, Jim Carrey was right.
Yeah. So is that it, honey? Have I answered your question?
That's it. Beautiful start.
And so I'm going to ask you, why did you ask me?
Because we have lots of people that ask specific questions, and I'm sure there are people that are watching us now going, but I don't know where to start. I don't know what's going on.
Ask the question.
I don't know.
Ask the question.
Or you might have another question. Okay, I'm at that point. I've seen myself. I hate the way I look and I feel.
But let's not give any more examples.
No.
Just ask the question, guys.
Yeah, ask the question.
That's the step one. Step one, ask the question, and the rest will happen. Yeah. I wonder what the next one's going to be about.
I don't know.
Stay tuned and find out. Anyway, I'm Con.
I'm Nikki.
And we are the dynamic duo from Down Under in our glorious backyard. So, see you later.
See you real
soon.
Bye. Bye.